I don't understand why a gentle, honest, loving man who promised me so much could treat me like this. I am a single mother, 38 years old, divorced for almost 12 years, when my son was just over a year old. Entering into marriage with a childhood friend nearby, I thought with passionate love, youth, and the nurturing of both families, we would have a fulfilling marriage. But no, after over 2 years, I had to flee from the fire to the frying pan. In short, I was abused mentally, physically, and sexually. Just to raise my child and divorce peacefully, I accepted almost all the debts incurred when the husband and wife opened a store. After 12 years, I now have a manufacturing plant with dozens of employees, a house, a car, built houses for my parents in the countryside, and helped my younger brother buy a house in Hanoi. I mention this so you can see that I have truly made a lot of effort and devoted myself wholeheartedly to my career and children. 4 years ago, when my career and finances stabilized, when my son had grown up, I decided to open my heart to find a partner. I longed for love, to be loved, and to have a complete family. I met him through a dating app. He had been divorced for over 10 years, 8 years older than me, and living with his 13-year-old son. His ex-wife had moved on and settled abroad. He was gentle, kind, attentive, very loving towards me, and cared for my son. I was truly content and happy. We went to meet each other's families. In the first 2 years, he was very eager to make plans to marry me, but due to focusing on his son entering a specialized high school, and then the COVID pandemic, he kept hesitating. I sympathized because I completely trusted him and also wanted both of us to have more time to get to know each other, so I happily accompanied him without urging him. We trusted and were so happy together for 3 years, determined to have a baby, and then get married. After 2 unsuccessful years of trying, last year, I got pregnant. I texted him to inform him of the pregnancy, and I was surprised to receive his silence. For a week, he didn't say anything, didn't come to see me. I was stunned and made an appointment to meet him. He came and said he wanted a child but didn't want to remarry because he was afraid of serious illness due to his nosebleeds during this time. I didn't mention marriage anymore, just hoped he would go for a checkup so that if there was nothing wrong, he wouldn't have to live in fear, and in the worst case scenario, he would be prepared for the children. He agreed. But on the scheduled day, he made excuses of being busy with work and didn't let me take him. A few days later, there were some spiritual issues in my family, so I went to see a fortune teller to see if there was anything wrong with the worship. But when I went, the fortune teller just looked at me and delved into the emotional issue. He said he had someone younger than me and wanted to evade responsibility. I was shocked but didn't believe. As I said, I completely trusted his loyalty. As I was leaving the fortune teller's house, he called, and I jokingly said the fortune teller said he had someone else because at that time I didn't believe what the fortune teller said. I didn't expect him to fall silent and hang up. At home, I texted to ask if he really had someone else. He just replied yes and then cut off contact, avoiding meeting. That's when I was 7 weeks pregnant. I got through the pregnancy and gave birth with the help of my family. He didn't contact, didn't explain even though I had informed him a month before giving birth and also texted after giving birth. Too hurt, I wanted him to meet me once because after 3 years together, with so many plans and promises from him, I deserved an explanation or a proper breakup instead of just silence like that. And the child too, what fault does the child have? Why not look at the child and give the child a birth certificate with the full names of both parents? He promised to come, but when the appointment came, he didn't show up and turned off his phone so he couldn't be reached. He only texted that he had someone else and remained silent. He didn't apologize or say anything else. These past months have been really difficult for me as I've had to bear the management of the factory in economic downturn conditions, be pregnant and give birth, be betrayed, and then abandoned. The day I became pregnant was pitiful enough, and when I gave birth, I was even more hurt. Every time I look at my child, I feel sorry for him, feeling guilty but can't do anything about it. He's very beautiful and looks just like him. I'm truly heartbroken, not understanding why such a gentle, honest, loving man could treat me like this. For the past few months, I've had to turn to Buddhism to heal the wounds in my heart, to forgive him even though he never apologized. I don't want to live in resentment, so I always think that it's fate. In my past life, I owed him, and in this life, I have to repay it. Although I've lightened my heart a lot, every time I drive on the road, I still often cry because of the pain and because I don't understand why a kind person like him could be so indifferent to me, after my child like that. Thank you for reading my article. I really hope to receive your sharing.
Thank you for your time with Late Night Confides. Please like, share and subscribe to give us more motivation. See you again in the next video.